Wow, there it is, Charles. I need more people so I can have power illegally. What was your reaction to that, Charles Marino?
Well, it's no longer a secret. Now they're saying the quiet part out loud, which is what we knew from the start of this almost 3 years ago. We knew that this was for the intentions of being a power grab. We knew that it was solely politics over national security concerns of the country. And now we see politicians on the Democratic side being more overt in their belief about things like redistricting and registering illegal immigrants as voters ultimately here in the country.
I mean, it's just stunning. I mean, we've been saying it because we know this is the Obama Doctrine, right? I mean, he needs another 30, 40 million voters because
Yeah.
he doesn't have enough of voters, so he needs new ones, and he wants to erase the country's history and start over in some kind of a glorious communist left wing vision where he's in control and we do exactly what they say. I mean, that's really what their vision is. So it's coming into play. I want you to comment, Charles. Comments on the threat. Comment on the threat that Florida Representative Kat Kamek heard from Secretary Mayorkas yesterday. What did you make of that?
Well, this is some type of statement from the Secretary of Homeland Security, if this is in fact what he said. And that is, look, I'm really bad at my job, but just wait. If another person comes in, they're going to be even worse. The problem for Ali Mayorkas is this statement doesn't carry much water for him. One, it's a threat. That's usually not a good way to speak to members of Congress, whether on the record or behind closed doors. And the other thing is he's already letting in 95% of the illegals that make it to our border. So, I mean, yeah, there's 5% more to go to make it even more worse. But we've already seen unvetted to the tune of millions be let into the country. We know special interest aliens are flooding our country and that terrorist organizations have likely already infiltrated the United States. And there's no accountability. I was able to hear your previous segment a little bit with Professor Klein, and I got to tell you, he brought up two important things about a government that's unaccountable as a danger to democracy, and also the role of nonprofits. We could look at the same thing here with this border crisis and look at the role that these non-governmental organizations are playing in facilitating this illegal entry and movement throughout the interior of the country while being funded to the tune of billions of dollars by the very own government that's upending our national security.
It's and we're doing nothing about it. I mean, I played on my radio show clips earlier from Speaker Johnson, who talked about how catastrophic it was, but they had a chance to do something, and they signed the budget deal with Biden to spend $2 trillion with no border security. So are they just? I mean, it's just one big facade. What's the deal here, man? Because they don't do anything.
Well, I mean, this really comes down to the basics. This is Democrats buying votes through entitlements while taxpayers are footing the bill, while the daily lives of Americans are being upended to include high school students that can no longer use their schools because illegal migrants have to use the location for housing, right? We're seeing increases in crime, but this is all to buy votes. Believe me, the administration is very happy when they see news clips of migrants singing the praises of Joe Biden for allowing them unfettered access into the country, many of which do not qualify under the claims of asylum, by the way. The Biden administration has unilaterally distorted all of our legal mechanisms to come into the country. They have broken the immigration system even more than it was already broken. But that's no excuse not to secure the border. You and I have always said that from the very beginning. You got to secure the border first before you ever have a conversation about immigration reform. And I'll finish with this. As far as any regional strategy, This administration has no Merida initiative like the Bush administration had, or Beyond Merida initiative like Obama had. They have absolutely no strategy, nothing on paper. They don't even know where their defense secretary is on any given day. Do you think that they're going to have a cohesive strategy in place to deal with all of these regional partners? Mexico is now demanding $20 billion from us and trying to dictate what our policy should be towards Venezuela and Cuba. Does that sound like they have the best interest of the United States at heart? I would say no. They're for open borders, Biden's for open borders, and round we go. And this is going to continue to get worse as we're in the last year, hopefully, of this administration.